So yeah, I have no idea how to start this off because it's been a while since we did a new series. But like, heck yeah, we're finally here. We're finally a Digimon series that neither of us have ever seen before.
Yep. I've like maybe as a kid I watched a dub episode here or there, but all of my memory of this series is gone.
I'm going to be like very upfront about this. I have seen like part of one episode of Savers slash Data Squad, which I'll probably just mostly call Data Squad.
I'm
It's
gonna call it
like
Savers.
I remember seeing a bit of an episode where like Ninja Kid shows up and it cuts to commercial and I just didn't see the rest of it, so I have very partial information. I remember, like, playing the video game version, but I have no idea if that's an anime original story or not. Like, the video game just straight up starts with, like, main character Diamond Matsu, who is, like, apparently just called Marcus in, like, the dub.
Diamond Masaru.
Yeah. It's like just starts with him on island, and then freaking Creepymon just shows up and like wrecks his shit, and he's like, "Okay, time to fight the 7 demon lords, I guess." And that's the game.
I mean, if that's how it starts, then yeah, that's clearly its own original story.
Yeah, clearly, maybe, hopefully, I don't know. So I ended up watching the first 2 episodes and got hit with the mid-2000s anime feeling. Oh boy. Yeah.
So, yeah, welcome to Digimon Savers.
I will try to
say.
use the Japanese names because I don't know all the English names, but also I'm probably just going to call this Data Squad.
Just call it. If you're gonna try and use all the Japanese names, call it Savers.
I mean, I probably should, but in my mind, I just every time I look at this, I'm like, no, but it's Data Squad though.
It's gonna take me a minute to remember some names. I remember Masaru. I don't remember the girl's name.
Yoshino, I think? Or
Yoshino.
Yoshina? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the girl with the like really like the really weird voice actress that I kind of like hate the sound of. Yoshino,
She sounds weird, right?
Yeah, like okay, I think we gotta get this out of the way because it's like she starts like talking. And I'm just like, oh, she sounds like really amateurish. Like, is like, what's going on here? And I like looked her up. This is like her only voice acting credit.
Ooh, okay,
it's like this, some series I've never heard of, which might have been for like a background role or something, and like some role in one of the games. I forget which one. It show came out a few years after Frontier. It was kind of meant to be the first reboot of Digimon. Oh, interesting.
Huh. Yeah, something about her voice. It's like it's too soft or something. Like
yeah, like it's hard to put my finger on. It just sounds like it sounds like someone trying to like put on a girl's voice, even though it's already like a female. Yeah.
That's what I was. Yeah, so I was about to say. It sounds like she's like doing a fake voice, like an obvious fake voice.
Yeah.
Maybe she'll. Maybe she'll get better throughout the series, but it's just kind of noticeable right now that it's a little weird.
Yeah, it's so weird. In her Digimon talks, and like Lalamon's clearly got like a really weird, like very airy, like higher voice too. And it also sounds like really off, but a way that's probably more intentional.
Yeah, Lalamon's the Digimon, so it's kind of, I don't know. It kind of fits that it's kind of weird sounding.
Oh, it's so odd. But yeah, Chant like VA work, a lot of child anime shows uses newbies. Yeah, that makes sense. Man, this is... I'm gonna be honest, like, I enjoyed these well enough, This felt like the first time we've, like, started a Digimon show, and I'm just sort of hit with, like, oh, this feels kinda cheap. This feels like they didn't have much of a budget.
I think it looks okay enough and everything.
Yeah,
It's
like,
just...
it looks okay, but it's like a lot of the characters just look like really flat and like, they're not really like moving that much or like, expressing much or anything. Like, it feels very like subdued, very like flat, very like low energy. And you get to the fight and it feels like, okay, this is where they put like all their effort for some reason. Well, I guess not for some reason, but yeah.
That's because that's what they want to focus on.
Yeah,
and it makes sense considering Agumon's evolution is triggered by Masaru punching the enemy Digimon in the face.
Yeah. Man, I should also probably mention, this is like the one bit of big info I have about the show, which is like, the thing I've mainly heard is that like, it starts off pretty weak and then like gets way better as it goes. So I guess we'll see what that means, but yeah.
I hope that includes Yoshino because holy crap, she is pathetic.
Right now, my entire enjoyment of the show is completely hinging on like Daimon and Agumon just being like fantastic.
Yeah, I'm fine if Masaru and Agumon just carry the series, but it's gonna be a disappointment if the female lead is also like worthless like in the previous series.
Yeah, like, I have to imagine she's gonna get something eventually, because I know she does have, like, other evolutions and stuff, but it's like, this is not, like...
Yeah, so, just to talk about it briefly, she's sent in as, like, this like, police force for Digimon to capture wild Digimon and send them back to the digital world. She's very bad at her job.
Yeah.
Lalamon isn't very strong. She seems like incompetent herself. Like, instead of trying to make a move to arrest Agumon, which is what she's there to do, she sits there and watches Masaru and Agumon fight until sunset.
I mean, like, you can't get their way.
It's her job to do so.
To be fair, like, there is a really fun little moment where, like, alright, the episode just starts off, I swear we're not really skipping anything, it just starts off with, like, Masaru about to, like, fist fight Agumon, and they're, like, calling each other out, and she just shows up, like, walks through, like, this, like, path of, like, downed bodies, like, oh jeez, we have to stop this thing now. And Masaru's like squaring off with Agumon for like about 5 minutes straight or something, and he's like, "No, Con, you wanna fight? Let's do this, I'll like give it to you. I'm like Japan's #1 street fighter." And Yasuno's like, "No, don't. He's a Digimon, you'll die." And Masaru's like, "No, don't shut up." And he's like, "This is a man's fight. Don't get involved with this exchange of fists or whatever." And she just has this weird look on her face, and she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And Lalamon's like, "Maybe we should actually stop them, though."
Yeah. It is kind of funny. I like Masaru already. Part of it is that he's not a literal... Well, I mean, he's still a kid technically, but he's a teenager.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I think that's the first time we've had a teenager as the lead in a Digimon series.
Yeah, he definitely feels older than the other protagonists. Like, just character-wise, absolutely.
He's like Ichigo. He's like an Ichigo type where he's a teenager and he's like a punk and he fights people. He's actually really good at it.
Yeah, he's like the street punk with a heart of gold. Alcir being passive is part of her character arc from what I remember. Marcus the fucking man punching Digimon to win. Oh, heck yeah.
Also, I gotta give it to Agumon for being considerate enough to not hit Masaru with his claws.
Yeah, or his fire breath. Like, at the impression that, like, he starts throwing fists and Agumon's like, yeah, I have to fight him on, like, equal footing. I have to play by his rules.
Yeah, well, what I'm getting at is like fire would be easy to hold off on. It's just like Agumon's got these gigantic claws, so it would be actually be difficult for him to like avoid stabbing Masaru while trying to punch or kick him.
Yeah, he actually like thrusts the claw for it and he like curls it into a fist. Like
Yeah, so it's like
actively.
I don't know. It just seems fun that Agumon just like, yeah, I gotta make sure I don't impale this guy while we have our manly fist fight.
The reason the art style is different was intentional. The director wanted the different feel, no middle arms. Yeah, I can see that. Like, I feel like that's a whole weird thing, right? Because it's like, I'm not against like changing up the art style and making it like less cartoony and stuff, but it feels like, you know, having like the wonkier proportions and the more cartoony style kind of like disguised like visual stuff often. Like, I'm thinking back to like series 1, like back to like Adventure, and it's like maybe I'm like crazy. Maybe I don't remember exactly how it looked compared to this, but felt like it felt more like dynamic. And part of that might ironically be because Ty just has like big, crazy, like monster hands all the time.
Yeah,
like that probably sounds insane, but like
no, I get it. Savers definitely has a more
more realistic, more modern. That's a good way. Yeah,
it has a more modern style to it. While Digimon Adventure was very stylized.
Yeah, like
but I'm
more generic, I'd probably say. Although not to say they really look bad right now.
I'm gonna say modern.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it fits for this where clearly like the protagonist is a 14-year-old instead of like a actually I guess the original cast is supposed to be somewhere around 10 to 12. They're not actually that much younger. Still, Masaru Masaru looks like he's 14.
Oh yeah.
Like I don't know, it just
Masaru is a fighter and he looks like someone who actually can fight.
Yeah, it's a more mature Digimon series, like in design and everything, I would assume.
Yeah, you brought Bleach, but it's pretty much made for the crowd at the time. Oh yeah, I can see it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it just reminds me of because like the twist with all the people lying on the ground is obvious. It's we have to take in Agumon. He injured all those people, and Masaru's just like, oh no, I did that.
Yeah, I just beat up like 13 other high schoolers before fist fighting a dinosaur. It's cool.
Yeah, it just reminds me of the scene in episode 1 of Bleach where Ichigo is like calling the hospital. And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna need it. And he starts counting all the guys he's about to beat up. And he's like, that many ambulances.
Yeah.
And it's like, I love this character already.
Oh man, early Ichigo is so good. I feel like he kind of like lost that edge as he went on, but early on he's so good though.
Yeah, later he kind of becomes, shonen protagonist man, but yeah, it's fine.
He becomes shonen protagonist. Well, I don't know. I probably shouldn't like say anything. I was gonna make a dumb joke, but I mean, like, yo, this series is actually getting like a real anime to finish up the run, so I probably should actually joke about the manga ending right now.
Yeah, I want to put like Bleach music over like certain moments in this series.
Yeah, just. Freaking now Masaru, you're number 1.
Yeah, Masaru goes to punch out like the big bad Digimon of the episode. Like number 1 starts playing.
Whoa!
I don't know. It just gives me that kind of vibe. Heck, Yoshino looks like Rukia if you change your hair color to black.
Yeah, now you mention it. Oh man, I'm really hoping that the third member of the team that's coming in episode 3 doesn't disappoint. Because I saw that next episode preview. I like his Digimon line. I don't know where this is going.
Well, just looking at... I feel like I vaguely remember this character, and I think he might be a very, very similar type as Uryu from Bleach. Like
Okay, yeah.
like the cool like Daimon is like the hot character, and then this other guy's like the cold character.
Yeah, because of course.
Yeah, and so he's gonna be like, we're getting our Bleach protagonists all together.
We're getting our bleach so we can, I don't know, like, bleach our eyes after, like... No, it's so we can bleach our ears after we, like, listen to Yoshino's voice actress. There we go. There's the joke.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of remember, like, he seems like a rich kid. I think he's going to be, like, a cold, snobbish kind of guy. His Digimon calls him Master, like, you know.
Yeah. Man, I like that in the card game. Like, of course Marcus gets in as a tamer, because of course.
I mean, I already like him, so...
And his whole deal is that you can, like, pay 1 memory to give him an attack value and treat him as, like, a Digimon for the turn, which means he can kill things.
Yep.
You, like, pay memory, and then he, like, gains attack, and then if you have, like, Rise Greymon or Shine Greymon out, he gets security attack +1. So he can kill things, and he can actually hit your opponent really, really hard. It's kinda great.
Yep.
Sorry, what were you saying?
I was gonna say, I like Masaru and Agumon have their big fist fight, and it goes until like evening or whatever, and they're just like lying on the ground, and like Agumon puts up his hand. He's like, "Hey, you're pretty good," and Masaru like takes his hand or whatever.
Yeah.
And Agumon's like, "What's your name?" Or no, I think he already. I don't know. But it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna call you Masaru Aniki, which is brother or boss or something similar, which is good, because I think in as much as they got wrong in the dub, I believe Agumon calls Marcus boss.
Yeah, I remember that from the game. I don't know if, like, the version you watched had the, like, translator note. The version I watched had, like, it was just...
It's like, Aniki means boss or brother, which I already knew. I've played a Yakuza game.
Yeah, mine was like, oh, this is, like, a Yakuza thing. I'm like, oh, okay. Heck yeah.
But it makes sense. Masaru is, like, this punk delinquent, and, like they bonded over, like, fist fighting, and so Agumon just like, I'm gonna call you Masaru Aniki.
I like that there's also a note that, like, freaking Masaru calls himself Masaru-sama, and it's like, oh yeah, it's, like, extremely rude to do this.
Yeah, it's arrogant.
Yeah. Man, they become friends, and then it's like, you know, Yoshio's like, okay, but I still have to take in that Digimon, because it's, like, a wild animal that could cause damage.
Yeah. And so she finally decides to do her job, but Masaru and Agumon manage to escape anyways.
Yeah, there's a lot of scenes in these episodes of, like, Masaru and Agumon being cornered by the Data Squad, the, like, tactical anti-Digimon team that, like, takes out wild Digimon, sends them back. And there's, like, multiple times where they're, like, about to be caught, and they're like, okay, well, quick, run, and they just leave. They just bolt.
Which is why I'm confused later when they actually succeed and get Agumon in restraints, and I'm like, how does she do that? She's awful.
Yeah, how did she do that? But yeah, there's a whole thing where it's like, oh yeah, you can't just, like, trust Agumon, because, you know, he's like a wild Digimon. You don't know what he's gonna do. You know, he could do anything.
Yeah, except that Agumon seems pretty chill.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like, oh, you just left him home hungry. Who knows what could happen? And there's, like, an attack on, like, a burger restaurant with, like, a W sign instead of an M. So it's the return of the good old-fashioned McDonald's.
Yeah. So yeah, Masaru escapes with Agumon and, like, goes up to, like, this tower. And he's just got him there, and it's like, oh yeah, I'll go get you some food. And he goes to the convenience store and runs into Yoshino there.
Yeah.
Which I guess it's more likely that she followed him.
Yeah,
And
probably.
because later she's just like, oh yeah, your name is this, your blood type is this, your age is this. And it's like because he yelled out his name, she just looked up who he was.
Yeah, just looked at his personal records.
Yeah. And then she gives off some bull crap about how Digimon can only eat certain kinds of food. And I'm just like, that's a lie. That's the biggest lie Digimon has ever told.
Man, for a second I just looked at that and it's like, okay, but like, what if in this continuity it's real though? I like bought
Nah.
into it and I'm like, alright, but is this how they're gonna make him join the like data squad? Turns out no, it actually was bullcrap.
It was absolute bullcrap. And I immediately called it out. I'm just like, no. And it's like, how would that even work? Is it just that Agumon would eat food and then get sick from it?
Like, I guess it would just give him no nutrients because it's not data, but like, yeah, we've seen this before in like every other series.
Yeah, and Agumon would have to be like, he can't exist as data in the real world. He would have to have taken on like a physical form.
Yeah.
Like, that's always how Digimon works.
I wonder if there's like any food you just straight up like wouldn't be able to feed Digimon, you know?
From what I've seen in every series, they'll eat anything you give to them.
Yeah, because it's like, you know, it's like how dogs can't eat chocolate or like cats get like a stomach ache if you feed them milk or whatever. Like, I wonder if there's anything you would like give a Digimon where it's like, oh yeah, here's some Brussels sprouts, and they like eat it and they start like throwing up.
Agumon does look weird in the show. Sometimes his head is gigantic.
Oh yeah.
Like, that's what I noticed mostly, is that his head is too big in a lot of scenes.
He looks very odd and his nostrils are like very weird to look at. Like, I don't think I usually even notice them, but they're so like obvious now.
Yeah. It's fine. I can chalk it up to this is a different type of Agumon knowing what he turns into.
Oh yeah, this is like, so normally Agumon is a reptile type Digimon. This type of Agumon is dinosaur type. That's the difference.
Oh.
It's still Agumon, but it's like, yo, it's sort of like slight variation, basically.
Okay. Yeah, so it actually makes sense if it's a little off model or whatever, because it's like, this is a different type of Agumon.
Yeah, even though it's still literally Agumon.
Yeah.
Sort of how, like, yo, in, like, Extros Wars, there's a different type of, like, Beelzemon, but it's like, it's still Beelzemon, it just looks different.
Yeah, it looks bad.
Oh boy, it sure does. But yeah.
So
it is
yeah,
indeed a different type of Agumon.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Digimon can eat anything you put in front of it and it'd be fine. Like, the chocolate thing is out the window because Gamamon's favorite food is chocolate. Seemingly, Hero only feeds Gamamon junk food.
What would happen if you fed like a Doberman chocolate? Would its dog stomach be like, wait, no?
It'd probably be fine because it counts as a Digimon before it counts as a dog.
Yeah, because like, what I think is that it's like, looking back, my Osmon's like a vampire and he drinks like blood. He drinks blood from people. So it's like, is that just something any Digimon could do, or is it because he's running vampire.exe?
I mean, there's plenty of Digimon who are like, yeah, I'm gonna eat humans, which would include their blood.
Yeah, like, I guess so, yeah.
Myotismon can probably eat regular food, he probably just prefers blood.
Yeah, he's just a picky eater. Yeah, that actually makes sense.
Also, I like Agumon's, like, hand wraps.
Yeah, oh yeah, they're pretty cool. I'm gonna be real, like, for the most part, I feel like every evolution this Agumon gets is just like a straight upgrade over like the default evolution line. I think they nailed it with the designs.
I don't know, I'll have to see them in action, because, you know, I've got a lot of nostalgia for base Agumon evolution.
Yeah, like, I'd assume you've, like, already seen, like, Rise Greymon and Shine Greymon, right?
Yeah, I have. Heck, I've seen the Garurumon, whatever, Crest Garurumon or whatever it is.
That's a different thing. Yeah,
No,
Crest is like the one with the, freaking like spear. Yeah, you're
okay,
thinking
I'm
of
thinking
like
of a.
Galgamon. Yeah, the Galmon line, which has nothing to do with
Oh, maybe.
Garurumon. They're just all punch dogs, and they're pretty good.
Okay, maybe yeah, maybe it is something Galmon or whatever. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Agroth hands creeps to 2000s Rackle dude. Yeah, I agree. I like this loud sap or Greymon. Yeah, it's like more Greymon's so hard to beat. I feel like Shine Greymon gives it a good run for its money. Shine
Yeah,
Greymon is pretty slick.
yeah. But like I said, I'll wait to see this Agumon's evolution line in action. Like I've seen
Yeah.
them, but I don't know. I just want to see how they handle the character and everything.
Speaking of, like, yeah, so Digimon attacks the burger shop. Turns out it's Cockatrice and he's, like, huge. He's, like, gigantic for some reason.
Absolutely massive. But this isn't the first time we've seen Digimon at crazy, weird sizes.
Oh, yeah,
Heck,
it's great every time.
yeah, heck, we've seen in the like episode 0 of Digimon Adventure, there's a gigantic Greymon and a gigantic Parrotmon.
It's such a big Greymon for, like, no reason. It's nuts.
Heck, he's gigantic as an Agumon.
Oh, yeah, he's, like, huge.
Yeah, I like episode 0 of Digimon Adventure.
It's really good, yeah. Yeah, the basic long short is they run to Cockatrice and, like, Marcus just punches him in the freaking face. And that, like, charges his hand up with, like, data energy from the impact of punching a Digimon in the face.
Well, okay, so you're jumping ahead of quite a bit. So Masaru and Agumon try to fight the Cockatrice Kakatorimon, like normally. Like Agumon's firing fireballs and stuff, and like Kakatorimon tries to step on him, and like Masaru is like holding onto its neck, like just punching it in the back of the head the best he
Yeah,
can.
Shadow of the Colossus style.
Yeah, and Agumon's just like oh man, he's so strong. And Masaru's like, doesn't that get you fired up? And Agumon's like, yeah, and he lifts his leg and like throws him off balance, like as like rookie Agumon. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, that's cool.
This might be the most powerful Agumon we've seen so far.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know. It seems like Masaru getting fired up gives him energy to also get like super tough.
yeah, which makes perfect sense. And it's like, I get the impression that, like, where am I going with this? I have the impression that it's like, every time Agumon fights something is like Geo Greymon, he just one-shots it.
As far as we've seen, yeah.
So it gives the sense that it's like, no, this Agumon is just, like, absurdly strong. He's just really good.
Also, I like the dynamic between these two. These two idiots share a single brain cell.
Yes. Right, also worth knowing, it's like, yeah, Marcus, like, gets a Digivice from some random old man, and he's like, okay, I'll, like, punch out Cockatrice and he gets the energy and just evolves with it. And this seems like it's just the gook. It's like, Marcus punches out a bad Digimon, and that gives him the power to evolve his Agumon.
Yeah, at first he does it without the Digivice. He punches it, and he's like, whoa, what's with this crap on my hand? And then the old man shows up and he's like, hey, use this. And Masaru's like, all right, I know what to do with this. Like every other kid who suddenly gets a Digivice.
Also, damn it, I screwed up the screenshot, but oh well. That's good enough. Yeah, we finally get our first look at Geo Greymon, and yeah, freaking, I like this thing.
He's cool. He's spikier.
Yeah, it's like, it's weird that he's like, like way leaner. Like the fact that he's like missing a bit of like a belly feels really odd. But other than that, I think this is like, I like this more in normal Greymon. Like, I think this is a good, like, like, this is a good variation.
regular Greymon, who looks like he'd be a special attacker, and this looks like he'd be physical attacker.
Yeah, exactly. I like this pair a lot. I also have to say, this song's actually top tier. Yeah, this song is great.
It's pretty good. I meant to look up what it was called, but I forgot to do so. Probably Shooting Star or something.
Shooting Star or like Dreamer or something. Yeah. I'm sure I'll like look it up afterwards or whatever. But it's like, I feel like, like, especially after going through Frontier, where it's like, okay, you get the, like, like, the insert song, I forget what it was. And it's like, alright, that took, like, a few listens to really warm up on me. That, like, took it. This is, like, immediately like, okay, heck yeah, let's do this.
It's called Believer.
Okay, yes.
Also, it started up, I thought it was Braveheart, because it has the same, like, guitar riff in the beginning.
Oh yeah, that's so intentional. That feels so intentional.
Definitely. It's supposed to get, like, the people who've been watching Digimon from the beginning to be like, yo, it's happening!
Yeah, we're gonna go on adventure and we're gonna punch out Digimon with our fists and, like, blow them up with new Agumon. Like I said, OG reboot. Yeah. Honestly, even thinking about it, it's like, even the fact that Marcus is like, like a teenager is probably like intentional for that purpose.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, think about it, it's like, this is probably totally because it's like, oh, the audience that grew up with the original has, like, probably gone to high school now. And this is meant to get them back in and be like, okay, look at this cool battle Digimon show.
Oh yeah, it's definitely for the fact of for the sake of getting in, like, old fans back in.
Yeah.
That's kind of what Cyber Sleuth was doing. Where it's like, here's a somewhat more mature Digimon story in a game, and it's like, yeah, this is for the old fans.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, because it's like, yeah, you know these Digimon, let's just get on with the story stuff.
In Ghost Game was to recapture the younger audience.
Clearly.
Oh, man. But yeah, do we have anything else to really, like, say about the first episode?
Not really. Just, yeah, he evolves to GeoGreymon, and then GeoGreymon uses Flame Breath and blows away Kakatorimon immediately.
Yeah. Hard cut to episode 2 where, yeah, they've just somehow been captured, like, immediately.
Which makes absolutely no sense, because, as I've said, Yoshino is very bad at her job, and Lalamon sucks.
Yeah, I do like the little detail that it's like they have Agumon all restrained, but they've got like a freaking dog collar on, and Lalamon's just walking him.
Yeah. Like, I don't know, I feel like Agumon, even with his hands bound, could take Lalamon.
Oh yeah, but it's like, it's a cute little detail, it's like, oh yeah, we've like tamed this wild animal.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Right, I forgot. Yeah, we do get a shot of the DAT. I think it's DATs, is what they called it.
Yeah.
The headquarters, and it's like all these people with their Digimon, and like the commander and his Kudamon.
Yeah, and like, he's like, oh yeah, your Agumon's like a wild Digi, has to be destroyed. And Marcus is like, wait, no, but you have Digimon too, what the heck? And Lalamon's very quickly like, oh yeah, but if a cop speeds to catch someone who's speeding, then is that wrong though? And it's like, yeah, fair point.
Okay, but how did they get their Digimon in the first place? This like police squad didn't exist from the very beginning. At one point, they were breaking their own rules.
Yeah, I have to imagine they were, like, trying to hunt down Digimon, and they managed to make deals with Digimon who were, like, sympathetic to their cause to recruit them.
I guess. Yeah, I mean, it had to start somewhere, but still.
Yeah. Like, who was the first cop that ever sped, before it was, like, a law that they could do that?
Also, I don't know, I'm more on Masaru's side here, but
Yeah,
it's just because I actually like Masaru.
I 100% get the impression, not the implication. I completely get the impression the Masaru just decided to like join DATS just straight up after getting Agumon, then they'd probably like keep a bit of an eye on him, but they'd be like way more okay with just leaving Agumon in his care. Like, they seem really fine with him being with Agumon as long as he's working with them. They seem really chill about it.
But yeah, because they're like, oh, this kid gained energy because after jumping at a Kakatorimon and punching it in the face. It's like, oh, he gained the power to digivolve, to evolve his Digimon before he even had a Digivice. Yeah, all right, we need this kid. And I don't blame him, considering the only person who does fieldwork for him is bad at it.
Yeah, we're like short-staffed, this kid's got talent, and they already have a good relationship with this Digimon. It's just like, yeah, like, easy win.
Yeah.
I kind of wish, like, Matsuru helped things go along a bit smoother, because it's like, it's such a no-brainer answer that it's like, yeah, of course, right?
Well, Matsuru's like hard-headed kid. He obviously has trouble with authority. Like,
oh yeah,
I understand.
Yeah, I completely get it. It makes complete sense.
Even he calls out the thing later when he feeds Agumon. He's like, "Oh, so that thing about special Digimon food is a load of crap, huh?"
Yeah. Can we just like?
This guy'll eat anything.
Yeah, I feel like we just need to like talk about this for a moment, because it's like he escapes and he tries to hide Agumon. It's like he's really bad at it, and his parents just kind of find out anyway, or at least his mom does. I don't know where his dad is. Like, his mom and his sister just find out, and they're just fine with it. They're just chilling.
Yoshino says, well, Yoshino kinda says what happened to his dad. He disappeared like 10 years ago or something, but that's all we know.
Yeah, all we know is he's not around, which could mean literally anything.
Yeah.
It could mean he's out at the store trying to get milk, or it could mean that he's lost in the digital world.
Yeah.
Maybe he's trying to get milk in the digital world, and he just couldn't come back.
Yeah, there's this whole scene where Masaru like leads Agumon back to his house. Like, they escape from the DATS headquarters. Like, they just run out. Like, these people are really bad at their jobs. They're like, okay, now we're gonna send Agumon back to the digital world, and Masaru runs over to like a Kamemon carrying like a tea kettle, and he like kicks it into the air and knocks it to the ground and kicks up a bunch of steam, and like he grabs Agumon and they just bolt out of there.
You know what, in all fairness, I'm gonna give the show the benefit of the doubt. Yoshino found their house pretty immediately. I'm willing to, like, say that, like, they probably didn't even really care that he ran away, because they're like, you know what, as long as, like, someone's keeping an eye on them, they'll be fine.
That seems highly irresponsible, considering Masaru was running around in public with a monster.
Yeah,
despite Masaru's efforts to hide him in a cardboard box, how could they have known he was going to do that? He could have just charged through town with a dinosaur.
I get the impression that it's like the captain's just like, you know what, we could go all out. Let's just like give him some leniency, he'll come around.
Yeah,
like, that's the vibe I'm getting off of this.
I don't know, but there is a scene where he like finds a big cardboard box and he like hides Agumon in it, and it's like, all right, you just gotta move with me and we gotta avoid people, and I'm gonna hide you at my house.
We're gonna hide you in the closet, and like immediately, as soon as the mom comes in and like leaves, he like takes Agumon out of the closet and starts talking with him. The mom hears them talk and she like opens the door. She's like, oh, were you talking with someone? And it's like, oh crap, Agumon out the window now.
Yeah, like hides Agumon on the balcony.
He's so bad at this.
Yeah. And while his mom is in the room, is like, I heard you talking to somebody. What's going on in here? And like while Agumon is outside hiding, Masaru's little sister comes around the corner and sees Agumon.
Yeah.
And she of course freaks out, and Agumon scrambles onto the roof to hide.
And he gets like attacked by a freaking cat and just falls off anyways. And they all just like find him.
Yeah, Agumon gets found out pretty early, which I kind of appreciate. It's like, okay, cat's out of the bag. We don't have to worry about this anymore.
Man, I really appreciate when, like, the parent characters just see the Digimon and they're just chill with it.
I assume they freaked out at first, but then Agumon was, like, really, like, nice, and they were like, oh, he's not that bad.
Yeah. Apparently Agumon's on a first-name basis with Marcus's mom.
Yeah, I just imagine, like, Agumon just acts like a hoodlum whenever he's hanging around Masaru. But then if he needs to talk to other people, he's just like, oh yeah, I'm all polite and well-behaved and stuff.
Yeah, he knows what the deal is. He knows when to, like, cut the act.
Yeah. It also probably helps that Yoshino probably showed up shortly after and was like, okay, he's not gonna hurt anybody, I promise.
Yeah. Like, Matsuru just wakes up after, like, being knocked out, and he's just like, oh, Agumon's just, like, chatting with my mom and my sister, and Yoshino's just sitting here at the table eating food with my, like, parent. And he's like, what the crap is this?
Yeah, she's like, well, since you ran off, I'm here to, I'm just going to be freeloading at your place until something gets figured out.
Yeah. Like, this seems like a very, like, casual, like, setup for all of this. Like, people are just like, oh, yeah, he seems chill. Yeah, whatever, we'll just, like, figure things out. Why not?
Yeah. I at least appreciate certain things about this already, where it's like, okay, some people, apparently some people who are okay with the Digimon, they're not going to freak out and go tell people. It's like, they can know. And the people who might freak out or whatever, apparently they will get their memories erased, because that's something DATs can do. They have, like, Men in Black memory erasing technology.
I'm kind of surprised they just brought that up as, like, a thing and just sort of don't, like, expand on it. Because it's like, fine. That's a terrifying level of power. To be like, oh, if you, like, get involved with the Digimon, the government will literally take you away and wipe your memories.
It's Digimon. So I'm not expecting it to get dark at all. It's, oh, you saw a Digimon fight, we're going to erase that memory.
Yeah, it's like, just one change in, like, the lighting and shot composition of them saying that would make this the most morally gray thing ever.
Yeah. Like I said, it's Digimon. I don't expect it to get dark.
Yeah.
And it's better than the Ghost game thing where everybody sees Digimon and then nobody acknowledges it ever again.
I mean, fair enough. I just sort of like, I feel like ideally this would be a world where people just, like, know Digimon exist, right? Because of course.
I don't think that's the case, because whenever Agumon breaks out and is running away, they're calling for an evacuation because there's a supposed unactivated undetonated bomb in the harbor area.
I know it's not the case for this series, but it's like, it would be really nice if that's what they're like, if that's what they would have gone for, I should say. Because it's like, if you already have, like, a full-on, government organization for dealing with this, then it's like, yeah, there's not really much of a point in keeping it secret. Like, you might as well, like, let people know so they can, like, report in incidents and, like, stuff like that.
Yeah, it probably would have been better. It's like, okay, there's, like, monsters that appear sometimes, but we have a government organization to deal with it, don't worry.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, we're going Men in Black with DATs. uh, I don't know. It's just, I appreciate there's an explanation for how they keep the Digimon thing under wraps, unlike Ghost Game, where, ooh boy, it's bad this week.
Oh man, that's a really dumb idea. This is kind of like the freaking public devil hunters and Chainsaw Man. And it's like, think about it, it's like, yeah, they're making contracts with Digimon. They're like going out, they're like dealing with the problems like an organized thing. There's like a champ command and everything. And this opens the door for me to make so many dumb Chainsaw Man jokes you won't get or care about.
So I was gonna say, none of which I will get.
Oh man. When do we get the episode where, like, Marcus fights Thomas in the alleyway and just kicks him in the nuts? When do we get it? But yeah, so we, like, cut to the next day. Marcus is going to school because, yeah, he's just got high school. And it's like he's immediately late, so Agron wants to come with him, and he just manages to shove him inside Digivice, because that's something you can just do with Digimon in this world.
Which is another thing that, like, makes things easier. Agumon's not gonna have to sneak around because Masaru can hide him in his Digivice.
I like the dumb little detail that Marcus literally says, I'm late for school, and he's, like, running to make it. And the entire time, Yoshino is just, like, driving along the side of the road in this souped-up, like, fantasy future car next to him, and just not giving him a ride.
Yeah, well, he probably refused it anyways.
Yeah. It's so
she's got,
goofy,
like, this,
though.
Yeah, she's just riding along in, like, this futuristic cop car. Which I guess makes her at least 16?
Yeah, I'd assume so.
Also, I like the bit where, Masaru's, like, getting his shoes on or something, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna be late for school, I gotta go, Agumon. He's like, what's school? And Masaru's like, it's a place where you can fight. It's like a place where you can get into a lot of fights. And it's like, okay, I understand this character perfectly.
This is the exact answer I want to hear.
Yeah, Agumon's like, wow, I want to go.
Oh, man. That's the thing, it's like, goes to school, and it's immediately like, there's something going on at the elementary school where his sister goes to, so even though he's just running late, he just stops to check out what's happening anyways.
Yeah, he's like, I mean, it just, if he goes to school to fight people, obviously he doesn't care about going to school for the right reasons. Of course he sees something going on and he's like, oh, what's that?
I just love how casually he just blows this entire thing off just for the sake of it.
Yeah. Also, it's the school his little sister goes to, so he probably wanted to check and make sure everything is okay.
Yeah, he really doesn't care about school. Oh man, but yeah, they have a little thing where it's like, oh yeah, it turns out someone attacked the pen where they're keeping the rabbits that everyone was keeping as like class pets, and they've
the rabbits and the chickens.
Yeah, and they've killed all the animals. And it's like, oh, all right, well, we have to do something about this, which honestly probably leads to like the funniest like moment of the episode. Where it's like his plan is like, of course they're gonna come back to the pin to like, make sure the job is done, right? They're gonna return to the scene of the crime. So, hey Agumon, get inside the pin. I'm going to lock you in there with a combination lock, and then just straight up forget the combination.
Yeah, it's pretty goofy. It's like, Agumon's like, hey, it's like, Masaru's like, yeah, I'm gonna go fight this Digimon. And Agumon's like, all right, but let me out of here first. He's like, oh, all right. He goes over and tries to get the lock open. Just like, what was the combination again? And Agumon's like, you forgot?
Why isn't it working?
At that point, if I was Agumon, I would just tear the cage open.
Is it bad that I kind of love that he doesn't do that?
But yeah,
he's like, don't worry, you'll get it, Marcus.
Yeah, because he bursts out of it later when he evolves.
Yeah. Oh man,
Brains are
he's a
not their
good
strong
boy,
suit.
bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Akumat's a good boy.
Brains are not their strong suit, and I'm totally fine with that. I like that these that our protagonist and his partner are a couple of idiots.
Yeah. Oh man. But yeah, it turns out the reason why all the animals died is because there is a kid who got like possessed question mark like it became partners with of like Kunamon. It's kind
Yeah.
of weird. It just like the kid shows up and he's like, oh, he's hand taking care of the animals. I wish they would all just die. And then, like, I got the power to do it. And the Kunemon, like, appears on his back like a freaking, like, persona or something. Just, like, glowing with evil energy.
Q.
QQ.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll see more of this later, but for as of right now, it seems like it might just be a Kunemon thing, unless it's just something that all Digimon can do and they can just possess people.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be the first time. Well, maybe this would be the first time because the other instance I've seen it is Cyber Sleuth.
Like, until Stay at Our-wise, hope they explain the tank control thing, or it was really brushed off, yeah. I'm going to assume that, like, what's going on is that Digimon are, like, you know, enhancing, like, the desires of humans or whatever. Like, you know, this kid had, like, this negative desire, this, like, negative emotion in him, and that's what, like, Kunamon, like, attached to and, like, fed off of to evolve. Like, he's, like, fostering his hatred or something.
Yeah.
Because that seems like it might be what the general deal is here, but it's like, it's very ambiguous and they don't really like explain it in this episode. So it's just sort of like, oh, I guess this is a thing. Fight the evil Digimon.
Yeah, and there's a moment where Marcus is like, yeah, I'm gonna go punch it, and Yoshino's like, nah, I'll handle this, and like calls out Lalamon. And I'm thinking to myself, this thing's a rookie. Marcus could beat this thing to death himself.
Yeah. Marcus could honestly just like unironically probably beat the crap out of a Kunamon at least.
Crap,
like I completely believe he could do that.
Yeah, Masaru, I mean.
Masaru, yeah. I'm gonna probably keep calling him Marcus by accident.
I'm gonna try to not. But yeah, Lullaby gets wrecked immediately, and so has to go champion to deal with this rookie.
Yeah.
And like they shoot an attack, and Kunimon just evolves on the spot to Flymon, and then Lalamon and Yoshino get wrecked immediately.
Yeah, which is honestly like Sunflowermon isn't my like favorite design, of course, but Sunflowermon's not a bad Digimon. Like, it's not bad looking, like the weird proportions. I kind of like it.
I think it's kind of lame.
It kind of is, but it's like there's a bit of something there. It's got a bit of like a crazy, dragony body. It's got the leaf wings, like it's not like the worst. It's like
it's better than the Pokemon Sunflora, which is what I'm reminded of.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's like, oh, Sunflowermon just gets wrecked like super hard, and it's like, oh, I really hope this Digimon just doesn't get wrecked in every single fight.
Yeah, Flymon uses Stun Spore, and Yoshino and Sunflowermon just get paralyzed and knocked out of the fight. And so Masaru pulls out his Digivice. He's like, all right, we'll Digivolve. And he does the pose and everything. He's like, why isn't it working?
Well, what am I missing? What's going on? Do I have to beat it first? All right, let's try that.
Well, he doesn't even think of that. Like, it just goes from, oh, it's not working. I guess I'll just punch it myself.
I need to punch.
Yeah, and so he just waits for it to come out of it. Masaru just punches the thing, and it's like, and then he's just like, oh, so that's how it works.
Masaru is unironically more effective against this Flymon than in, like, a champion level Digimon.
Yeah.
He does more damage to it than some Flymon could ever hope to do.
Yeah, he punches it. It's like, I think the old man from earlier is just like, oh yeah, used his rage or whatever to power his evolution or something.
Man, how that is a whole mechanic in, like, the game that's like, every time you, like, fight a Digimon, there's like, yo, you, like, build meter, basically, like, as you take damage and stuff. And there's a whole mechanic where it's like, when the meter gets, like, full, then you hit a button called Digi Soul Charge, which is Marcus running up and physically punching the enemy Digimon so that you can unlock an evolution and just, like, evolve on the spot and then wreck it. It's like the music blasts.
It's pretty good.
Bro, I remember the Digisoul being a large plot point later. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure he's gonna punch like the real big bad, and it's gonna be like he's gonna get a huge Digi Soul or something.
I think I saw a clip on Twitter or some crap of Marcus flying through the air like freaking Superman and just like punching out of the Myotismon and just stumbling back and falling into like the two other Myotismon behind it and making like all three of them stagger.
Yeah. Yeah, we've seen, because people, of course, people like to talk about Marcus and his ability to just punch out Digimon. So I've seen a clip here or there.
I've seen that, and I've seen a scene where he gets into a fist fight with a Biomon and he kicks the shit out of it. He wrecks that Biomon so hard. Sorry, what were you saying? I think I interrupted you.
No, I was just correcting myself saying Masaru.
Okay, yeah.
Also, yeah, you talk about that Biomon scene a lot, but we see Masaru fight Agumon like literally all day in episode 1.
Oh, yeah. Man, it's like, I saw it randomly on YouTube. It's a really fun scene.
Yeah.
Because it's like, they can't even, like, lay a finger on him. He, like, really gives it to that Biomon.
Which makes sense. In my head, a Biomon would be weaker than an Agumon.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, that, like, works out. Oh, man. Yeah, they beat Flymon, they, like... No, he punches out Flymon, then, like, Agumon evolves into Geogreymon, like, one-shots it with Mega Flame because of course.
Yeah, that's 2 for 2 so far of Evolve Mega Flame win.
Yeah, I believe the old man shows up and says something like, oh yeah, your Digisoul is triggered by, like, your fighting spirit being, like, activated when you punch with your fiery fists or some crap. I know it just straight up says, like, yeah, you gain power when you hit things with your burning fists.
Yeah, and he's just like, hey, you like fighting, huh? Don't you, mage, you go to the digital world and you can fight a bunch of things.
Yeah, you've, like, already peaked as far as humans go. Go in the digital world and you can face new limits and push yourself even harder.
Yeah. And then like it cuts to Masaru running into the DATS headquarters and like, hey, let me join DATS. It is like, oh, what happened? It's like, yeah, some old man. And the commander's just like, oh, that guy.
Yeah, that dude, huh? Alright, yeah, like, sure.
Yeah, the implication being that he's aware of the strange old man who shows up and just hands out digivices.
Yeah. Which apparently are just straight up like a human invention in this world. Like, this is just something people made.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's important. Yeah, he seems pretty important. Old man seems like a character that's gonna show up at some point and say some, like, crazy, like, plot stuff.
I'm calling it now. He's secretly a Digimon.
Maybe? I don't know. I'm thinking, like, maybe he was one of the original DATS agents. Like, maybe back in the day, he's like, oh yeah, he's like one of the first guys to do this, and that's why he's like so knowledgeable, and he's just like retired now. But he still has like the Digivices and stuff, and he still knows how to do the thing.
I don't know. We'll see. Eventually.
We'll see. I'm also really curious what we're going to get with Kudamon. Because, like, the captain has him, and you don't see Kudamon as a partner too often, I think. So, yeah, that's gonna be interesting to, like, see where the heck they go with this thing. Yeah, I feel like he's kind of, like, one of those more, like, obscure ones, you know?
Yeah. I'm not gonna be surprised if Kudamon doesn't evolve.
Yeah, all I know is he evolves into freaking, like, Kintarosmon, and that seems way too big for this guy.
I think he can also turn into, like, Repamon and,
yeah.
that line.
Repamon, I think, like, something else, and there's a dragon form with, like, wheels under its feet that floats around that I forget. Something like that, yeah. But yeah, he might have an evolution or two. Maybe. I just can't imagine him going, like, too big, right? I have to imagine Captain's gonna be a side character. Captain's not going mega. Yeah, it's interesting everyone needs a Digimon partner for DATS. Yeah, like, even the people who are, like, running the computer have, like, the Pawn Chessmon, which I know have other forms, so that's gonna be cool.
Well, at the beginning of one of the first things said in the series is only a Digimon can handle a Digimon, which is immediately thrown out the window when Masaru goes and punches them.
You know what? I'll accept that that's still the case, and Masaru is just like this crazy freak of nature.
Sure.
He is a genetic freak, and against him you only have a 1/3 chance of winning. But against him and Agumon, you have a 1/3 chance of winning against either of them, meaning you have a 1/6 and 2/3 chance of winning. But if you add them together, that means you have like a 5% chance of losing. But Marcus, if you add him together with his 2/3 chance of winning and his Agumon's 3/3 chance of winning, that's a 183% chance of winning.
If you say so.
Oh man, I don't even know where you are. The freaking like wrestler promo cut like freaking like copy pasta meme whatever I'm on about.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Whereas like a promo where a guy's like, oh yeah, yo, you have like a 1/3 chance of winning against me, a 1/3 chance of winning against my partner, which means, yo, at WrestleMania, the two of us have a 2/3 chance of winning, but I'm a genetic freak, so I'm like 50% stronger than a normal dude, and he just does all these like really bad math, and he's like, so against you, I got 133 and 3/3 chance of winning at WrestleMania tonight at this event. It's like the funniest crap. Really like a natural partnership. Don't say like Destiny and stuff like that. Yeah, no chosen ones, but we'll see. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like Digimon just sort of like, you know, choose their partner as opposed to like being predetermined to be with someone. Which, yeah, fair enough. Man, do we have anything else to really, like...
After the fist fight, Agumon is just straight up like, hey, you're pretty cool, so I'll follow you.
Yeah.
Like, I'll become your follower, was his words.
What happens if you, like, have multiple Digimon that are like, you know what, this dude's the coolest. How many partners can you get? Just one?
I would assume just one.
Well, if there's like 5 Digimon who are all like, oh man, this dude's the best, and they all want to like follow you and like obey your orders, is it just like first come, first serve?
Pick one.
Pick one. Yeah, alright. Well, if you're on, like, really bad terms with a Digimon, and then our Digimon's, like, really good friends with you later, can you just break up and find a new partner?
Don't know.
That's a question that's, like, never been asked, I think, in this series. What happens if you have a falling out, but then you have, like, a rebound Digimon that you, like, vibe with more? Because, like, at some point, you know, like, it has to happen.
I don't know.
Man, alright, I feel like, you know, first episode of this show didn't really have me, but pretty cool ending. Marcus is great. Second episode, way, way better. Way, way more likable. I'm getting way more into it now.
I think they're both fine taken as like these two episodes exist to get to the point where Masaru joins Dats. Like,
Yeah.
I kind of view them as one episode.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. So yeah, fun start. Hope ends up being at least decent from what I remember. From why RE9. Yeah. Yeah, me too, yeah. Hopefully this crap ends up pretty nice. I hope it's like, it at least gives us more than just Marcus to root for. I hope that at least Rival Guy is cool.
This seems like it might be very Monster of the Week, which we're kind of dealing with in a bad sense with Ghost Game, but I hope it's executed better.
Yeah, I have complete faith that this show will definitely go somewhere. I should also mention, I was looking up the episodes. Only 48 episodes in this one, huh? So we're already, like 7 less total than the number we're on for Ghost Game right now?
Yeah, and Ghost Game isn't showing any signs of going anywhere anytime soon.
Yup. Oh boy, it sure isn't.
Speaking of Ghost Game.
Speaking of, it gets better and say that at least. Okay, cool.